Hello again, my YouTube friends. It's Shani, I'm back. I've got a few reviews of some of my favorite Fluevog shoes. So if you are a fan of Fluevogs and you've been kind of curious to see like video reviews, because I haven't seen too many of them, I thought it would be kind of fun to give a nice little kind of rundown on some of my favorite John Fluevog footwear. So this video will probably be a little bit long. But I'll try and keep it short and sweet and just about the shoes. All right, so a little bit of a short story though, just before we get started. I was familiar with John Fluevog probably in 1980, 86, 87, when I was into the German punk scene. There was still a few Fluevogs that were kind of found kicking around. And I had a pair I kind of wish I'd kept because they would probably be a collector's edition by now. But for anybody that doesn't know, John Fluevog has been designing shoes since about 1970, give or take. And he is still kicking. It's a great company. It's a Canadian designer, Canadian company. And the man is very approachable and very warm with all of his fans. There's not too often that you'll see, for example, with the Canada Post strike that we had going on this year, that the man himself in the area in which they were living, which is BC, it's in Vancouver area. He actually went out and delivered some shoes himself. So you don't get that kind of customer service from too many companies nowadays, right? So again, there's also a Facebook website called Flumunity, wherein a lot of wonderful enablers get together, kind of like myself, and it's just for the love of shoes. There's no selling, there's no whatnot. It's just a wonderful community providing support to each other and enjoying something that we all love very much. So without further ado, I'm going to start with the first pair of Fluevogs that I've purchased. I live in Ottawa area, and there's a wonderful store down in the Byward Market. Byward Market's a little bit dodgy now. Don't think I'd be going down there alone at night, per se. Unfortunately, there's a lot of junkies and whatnot that are kind of wandering around in the area. It's taken a really nice area and kind of turned it into a little bit more of a, don't really want to go there during bright daylight, common hours, whatnot. It's not like the States where, you're worried about getting gunshots and stuff. It's just there's a lot of people that are down and out around. Okay, so I have never been able to wear heels because my feet make strange crunchy little noises when I wear them. And a female coworker of mine, we went on a trip to Japan and I noticed these shoes of hers, the boots that she had, and I was like, oh my God, are those John Fluevog shoes? And she goes, yeah, she was really pleased. And it just kind of reminded me of the brand. So I went online and I looked at, they actually had a sale going on at the time. And I thought, I was looking at one pair, which was the second pair I bought. The first pair that I bought were these amazing Obis, they're called. And these things are astounding. I'm just doing up the buckle right now as we speak so you can kind of get the full effect. I'm not going to model the shoes today. I'm just going to kind of show you them. And then what I'm going to do at the end is I'm going to go through all of my photos and I'm going to find the pictures where I have been modeling the shoes, so that way, anyways. So, are these not out there? Are these not the most amazing and outrageous footwear that you've ever seen? Yes, the embossed leather actually sparkles. Okay, so these here, when I saw them on the website, I went, those are so effing out of the top. I said, would I wear those? And I'm like, yes, I'm the type of personality that I would wear these, and not just for a special occasion or a special dress. So I thought, you know what? Even with the heel, it's kind of low. I said, geez, But, I mean, okay, so look, you've got the nice soft velvet, right? You've got a nice light blue leather buckle. The shoes themselves on the inside are leather. You've got the leather insoles, and there is a little bit of padding in the bottom. Like, it's not excessive, but it's a little bit of padding so that eventually, you know, your foot will kind of make its own little imprint in there. And what I love about these is that they've got these rubber soles. So you're talking traction and you're talking impact comfort, right? The little heel here is a little more solid. It's got the kind of trademark F on it, right? So these are the Firefly family, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But these shoes here, and so they also have like adjustable buckles. So you can adjust the tightness. If you have a high overstep, these are elastic. So they give a bit of stretch and play on the footwork. These boots themselves are a little bit for narrow-ish feet. I take a size 7.5, and these are true to the street size. So I will show a picture of these in something that I've modeled them, but those were the first things I laid eyes on. And while I was in the store that same day, I saw another pair, and I thought, you know what? These are kind of cool, but God, their heels, I'll never ever be able to wear something that high. And introduced the Prepare family, because all the shoes have different Prepare family like names. Like, so when I say the Firefly, that's the Firefly family. It involves that sort of heel and it involves that sort of same kind of sole to the shoe. These here are the Prepare masks. Look at the embossing on that. Isn't that cool? Now, the cool thing about these things is that even though the heel seems fairly high, because if you look at my hand size, there is a platform in here that is about yay high itself. So that takes off the heel, and it really, you're almost looking at about technically this much of a heel. The insole, the inside of the shoe, is insanely comfortable for the foot. Insanely comfortable. It also has a little bit of padding in the cushion, again, so that you can put an indent in your feet. And then it's got these little tread things at the bottom. The only thing I kind of wish about the design was that it kind of reached all the end. Because eventually I'm worried that I'm going to end up kind of scuffing this off too much. But the soles are rehealable in a lot of the shoes. And these here just fit slightly above like the ankles. So anyways, beautiful embossment. And so these babies were the second pair, because when I put them on, I went, oh, F you. I said, like, because they're not cheap, right? I mean, they're designer shoes, so they're not exactly cheap. And I thought, oh, shit, I'm walking out of here with 2 pairs of shoes, right? And, but you know what? No regrets. Love wearing them. When you wear these shoes, you feel like a boss. So I'm going to pause the video. And I am going to go and get the next 2 shoes in my set, and I'll be right back. The next pair that I'm going to show you, it was funny because I was out shopping with my mom, and she's got quite an appreciation for them too. And these are not something that I would have originally looked at. They're not something that would have been kind of my style. But she tried them on. I was like, holy crap, those look pretty badass. The only problem is she had high arches, and as a result, couldn't, or high insteps, sorry, and she couldn't quite make them fit comfortably. But when I tried them on, they fit quite nicely and were actually pretty comfortable. This is as high as a heel as I would ever want to get for myself, because again, I find it difficult to walk in heels. These are gorgeous shoes. They kind of put me to mind of, you know, like the Queen in Alice in Wonderland running around screeching off with her head. These are made with suede, so you've got a really beautiful black suede here. Got a nice white leather. The little bump is what they call the swordfish type style for their shoes. And this style with the heel is called the classy. So if I was normally to flip this over, you would see that it has a little emblem saying keep it classy and whatnot from the designer. But the only problem, because they come with leather soles, and that's my only problem with these shoes, is that they have just a smidge of padding in the bottom. Barely enough to count as padding. And when you bring your feet down fairly heavily, it's really hard on this part of your toes. So what I did was I eventually kind of broke them in a little bit and then brought them to a good cobbler, and he put on a topi, which it's an anti-skid, and it's kind of, I would have preferred a rubber topi. And I have another pair of the Classy family, which are like my favorite, favorite shoes. And eventually when I break them in, I'm going to probably get more of a rubber kind of sole put on, like those Obis that I showed you that had kind of like that black. So ideally it's nice to have the traction, but I also want to have just a little bit of cushioning in there. And they fit nice and snug on my feet. Again, I have very narrow feet, but I've seen other people with normal size feet. They just had a half size up because your toes don't go right now to the bottom. Basically, your toes kind of end up, like baby toes would probably end up right about here. And, so basically the kind of curve of your foot kind of would go a little bit like that when you wear them. But these are absolutely stunning, gorgeous shoes. Are they not lovely? They're just amazing. So you can see the difference between the two sides, and the heel, very funky, super cool. Definitely love them. So the next in my shoe parade is going to be, I'd been eyeballing these ones for a while, and I kept trying them on, waiting for a sale. And I finally, they had a blue color similar to these ones here, but the problem was, here we go. I'll show you. So, are these not beautiful shoes? The buckle is quite lovely too. So I'll show you the buckle. And it has a bit of an elastic. So once again, your foot isn't completely like locked in, but it's enough to keep the shoes on. So again, Firefly family. Try and say that fast a few times. But you can see that there's beautiful sparkles. These are the most beautiful sandals I think I've ever owned or seen. These things are gorgeous. The only problem with the blue ones that I had was the leather was a little bit stiffer on the upper. So when I would walk, because the foot would kind of bend like this a little, this would kind of cut into my foot skin. So I ended up opting for the pink ones, and I have not regretted it, although the blues would be beautiful too. So these are absolutely gorgeous. And just to do the buckle up so you get a little bit of an idea of what this looks like. These are actually on sale on their website right now, if I'm not mistaken. They have quite the sale. If you go to John Fluevog Shoes, they have their compliment sale. And these are probably some of the cheapest prices that you're going to get these shoes for. And it'd definitely be worth checking out if you enjoy unique footwear. So, and like I said, with the buckle on, very classic, very beautiful. I protected this part with a one of those leather spray protectors. I didn't touch the patent, shiny patent. And so yes, my summer sandals, which are lovely. And true to size as well. So all the shoes that I've shown you so far are size 7.5, which is basically what I take. Moving on to the most ridiculous and charming pair of shoes that I own. The only unfortunate thing about them is the fact that some of their styles don't come in half sizes. So you're either looking at a size 8 for me and an insert. So it's taken me forever to figure out how to work the inserts on this style of shoe because it is not the most intuitive for my foot, but I could not resist. When I first saw these shoes, I was thinking, holy shit, clown shoes. You've got to be kidding me. Like what? And weirdly enough, I went into the store, and in the store and in person, they just didn't look as ridiculous as they did online. And I kept staring at them and stalking them and staring at them, and I couldn't help it. And eventually I just had to cave in. I did. I had to cave in. And are you prepared for the splendor? That is what I now call, instead of clown shoes, my anime shoes. Are these not joyous and ridiculous at the same time? This is a suede. So you've got the suede here. The buckles are suede. You'll notice the different detailing in the buckles. The square, circle, square, circle. The bottom is part of their Go Groovy style. Very rubbery, really springy heels. So with these shoes, again, very comfortable to walk in. They're not a perfect fit for me. I've tried several different insoles for these things, and the only way I can really wear these comfortable is with a thicker pair of socks, because I can get them to fasten up tight enough here where this is, plus the buckles, so that my foot isn't kind of moving around in them. And they're reasonably comfortable, but I would have killed for a half size in these. Are they not the most insane and amazing shoes ever? And I will also show a picture of kind of what these things look like at the end. But these things are the epitome of Fluevog shoes. We're talking polka dots. We're talking embossed leather. We're talking cushy heels. We're talking wood. We're talking... It's just insane. Just insane. Love them. They actually have a pair of this family, but instead of having like, basically what it is you have this, but more in a kind of darker orange, and it's a patent, like, so it's like all shiny, and then the sides, so what it is you'll have a solid patent, but these sides here are where this polka dot is here, and on the inside of the loop is a lavender. So they actually have those on sale still at their website. Very comfortable shoes, and definitely get a lot of comments when I'm out and about wearing them. So, moving on to something, again, doesn't come in half sizes, but I found the perfect insole for them. And these are their Sky Highs. So when they say Sky Highs, they mean Sky Highs. So the laces on these are really long. You end up wrapping them like 2 or 3 times around this part of the boot here. But these things, you'd think that it would be hard to walk in. But because it's almost the same flat level, so if you look at where the bed of the shoe is, right? That's what kind of a lift you're talking. So, and these aren't not that heavy. They're actually quite light. You would think that they'd be heavy and clunky. So you have this kind of beautiful burgundy, kind of multi-colored with black and burgundy leather on the toes and on the heels. And then you've got this beautiful suede exterior here. And that in itself makes these very soft and comfortable. But the tongue, it was kind of stiff and initially kind of hard, but I've been working and working. And these things, you can walk for hours. I took them to LA when I went there, and I was walking around like Hollywood Boulevard and everything like that. So I walked with these things for like hours. These were the only pair of shoes that I took with me when I went to California. And it was pouring, deluging at one point in time, and I didn't have to worry about puddles. Pretty badass. So these are my Sky High. They're called Smarties. They have these in solid black, which is the same kind of material as the toe leather, and they also have them in a taupe color. So these things are some of my favorite shoes to stomp around in, and I am going to pause the camera and get the next shoes in the family. Stay tuned. I am such a YouTube noob. So I lost a chunk of recording because when I pause for whatever reason and I've got the camera turned around, it just stopped the recording. So I will get back into what I was saying before. I had a pair of shoes that had a manufacturer's defect. It was the same as those Smarties Sky Highs, the heels that I had in color taupe, and where the big part of the sole was, so it was supposed to attach to the top part of the shoe, it had kind of peeled up. And so I got a credit for them. and I went into the store and I found one of the, and I wasn't expecting this, to be honest with you. I just tried them on for a lark, right? Because they're kind of outrageous, and I thought, you know what? When I walked around in these things and how comfortable they were, and, you know, the more I looked at them, the more I loved them. It was just like, wow, you know, I can't get over these. Welcome to the Hathas. So, the design and craftsmanship in these shoes are outstanding. I mean, you're going to get the few occasional where you have a little bit of a defect or a manufacturer's defect once in a while. It's you know, it's going to happen, right? But these shoes here, they're part of the Soul Talk family, and the Soul Talk family are insanely comfortable because not only is this like a rubber, like sprawling, like literally you can jump in these things. So the bottom heel and this portion of the shoe have a great deal of comfort in them. They're not like slapping hard on the pavement. But on the inside of the shoe as well, you can see that they've got a cushion padding here for your heel. But even down inside, they got a little bit of arch support, and then it's well cushioned on the inside too, like really nice. So then moving on to that, if you look at the beautiful detail on the pearlescent leather heel portion, the beautiful pearl harder heel, and then you start getting into some of the cool details too. So you've got your patent leather here, which is actually like, it's pretty flexible. Like, so it's not like, you know, it's not going to crack, you know, unless you do something super abusive with it. But the cool thing about these shoes is if you can look up close, and I don't know if I can find a spot for you or not on these things. Come on, you can focus. You can do it. Don't look at my face. Look at the shoe. All right. If you look right about here, you might see that there's a bit of pearlescence to it. So even the white has a little bit of pearlescence underneath. It's got a little bit of kind of a crocodile kind of embossed. I'm not quite sure what the wording is. Then you move over into the really neat little details of these little tiny dots that go all the way around the shoes. You have the lemon lime laces, but they also come with a nice set of lavender laces, which just makes them a little bit more conservative, you know, if you want to. These things here, the mesh, if I can bring this right up to the mesh, come on, there it is. They are, you can actually see through part of the mesh, so it's actually, you know, kind of neat, but it's not just mesh see-through. It's actually got the leather lining on the inside. And once again, these are true to size, 7.5 for me. Perfect. And these are outstanding. And I'll show some photos after of wearing so you get an idea what they look on the foot, but absolutely gorgeous. The adventure continues. It's going to be fun trying to splice together all of these videos that I've tried to pause and not successfully paused. Around the same time, when I bought those beautiful purple shoes, I saw a pair of flats. I think flats are ugly. I think ballerina flats are ugly. You would almost not catch me dead in a set of Mary Jane shoes because I think they look like little girl shoes. That's just me, right? Everybody has their own style and their own thing. However, John Fluevog, in his infinite joyous malevolence, has created a flat that I had to buy. And that flat is called a Pina. It's part of the Voguette family. Welcome to outrageousness. Isn't that not crazy? Come on, focus there. Don't look at my face. Focus on the shoe. So, and we're talking nice little details here too, because if we get right in on this, you'll notice that they even have these cute little rose buckle details. If you have high insteps, these actually have elastics. So they will give. These feel a smidge loose on my feet, which is not a problem because I wanted the extra space because of the way the toe kind of narrows down to the point here on the patent leather. These actually keep the shoes in quite nicely, and I've been able to wear these, which I don't generally wear shoes bare feet because I don't like the feel of it. I don't like it, right? But these I was able to wear on the first day with no problems. This fuzzy stuff is called pony hair, which is basically just the rough side of the hide. So instead of the smooth leather like you'd get on a handbag, it's the other side that's kind of more rough and unfinished. And it's been dyed. So this stuff here I treated with a nano protection. And of course you can't put anything on the patent leather. But I mean, that's kind of badass. I mean, seriously, is that not cool? And because I love them so much, I was thinking, geez, you know, because, I mean, face it, you can wear socks with these. You're looking gray, black, red. Maybe cream. Maybe white. But there was a lot of times I'd be wearing a certain outfit that didn't have the red. And I thought, geez, you know, I'd like to wear these socks with them or whatnot. And I thought, okay. So anyways, just to give you one more last quick look. Oh, and also, yes, they actually have padding on the inside too. All the way down to where your toes are. And they've got that nice rubber sole, if you can hear that. So it's grip and it's impact resistant. So I thought, well, you know, anyways. Aren't they adorable? Totally outrageous. These things go with a really nice long black satin skirt. They'll go with kind of shorts. They go with a lot of things. And I will show you then, because of those shoes, I opted for, and this I got for this compliment sale. So yes, these beauties are still on sale. Come on, focus on the shoes, not on me. The Voguette Pinas in black. Does this not kind of give you like 80s punk vibe? So you got and these little studs are actually pretty sharp. So you want to kick somebody, make sure you use the underside of your foot. So yes, it's got the beautiful black patent, the little bow. Again, the nice little detailing on the buckles. The inside is, let's see. Yeah, so the inside is not like a rough kind of leather. I would say it's not lined, but it's the only part that's kind of not finished is around the back part of the heel, but there's no abrasion or rubbing. Same thing with the buckles. And again, the base of the shoes. These things, on the very first day, I took them and walked on my treadmill for 15 minutes in bare feet with these. I can also wear them with really thick socks, so I can wear them bare feet or really thick socks. So these are the Voguette Pinas in black, and they are on sale on the John Fluevog website. So if you like them, I would not pass the opportunity up. Moving on to, I think, kind of, like a lot of these shoes are sort of my favorites, but this one, as soon as I saw it, I fell in love with it. And they're called the Strazzies. The iridescent buckles, or buckle straps, that change in different lighting conditions. A sort of patent swordfish design. It's got the unique heel. Very now here, when I was telling you about them being called classies underneath the bottom with the leather, that's what I was kind of getting at. So you have, you know, the classy. These have a leather sole, and again, my only complaint is that there's just such a minimal amount of cushioning on the inside and nothing on the outside. These still have to be broken in a bit more from me before I can actually get a topi put on them, which I will. but these things are stunning. I fell in love with these things, and I waited, and I'm like, I'm not going to spend it, because they were, I think it was something like, on sale, it was like 360 something bucks on sale. And I just like, you know what, I can't do it. And then I realized that every time I saw them, that, you know, I just fell in love with them, and I couldn't let them go. Ideally, I would like these things to break in and become very comfortable, because I know a lot of people say that they are very comfortable, and they feel nice on the footbed. Like the top part of my foot, it gets kind of hugged in. With these straps, again, much like all of the Fluevog straps, they have an elastic band. So if you have a higher, is it instep? If you have a higher instep, you could still be able to get away with these things. Generally, your toes only end up kind of reaching about this part of the shoe, so they're not trying to jam into the swordfish part of it. But the swordfish part has a lot of, it's got like a kind of a support cone partial here, and then once you get past where that is, the leather becomes a bit more soft. Unfortunately, with these ones, for some strange reason, and I'm not quite sure how or why, I did have a little bit of a split happening here in the leather, so I'm gonna have to get that fixed by a cobbler. I'm not quite sure what, you know, that is, or maybe I'll talk to the Ottawa store to see if they're willing to repair it, because I've only worn these about 6 or 7 times, so there's no reason why this should be coming apart from the floor. But yes, beautiful shoes, absolutely gorgeous, very classy, but you could, you know, yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say. Also, with patent leather, if you have patent leather, be sure that the shoe doesn't touch anything like plastic, black, different colors, because patent leather will kind of take on other colors. So make sure that if you store your patent shoes, that they're not stored on anything that could possibly color transfer to them over time. My last pair, again, was one of those shoes that I saw, tried on, loved, and didn't want to pay the price for. The compliment sale, I did it. But I also had Christmas money gift from the family. So that's why the Dorothy became mine. Isn't she gorgeous? The color is more of a chocolate brown, so literally it kind of looks almost like a deeper milk chocolate. I don't own any brown shoes, but this is as close as I'm ever going to get to a pair of brown shoes. Kind of beautiful detailing on the heels, you know, with regards to the, like, the pearlescent kind of... Trying to get that stupid camera from not focusing on my face, but focusing on the shoes. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? It also comes as a member of the Soul Talk family. So I've never worn these out yet because I just got them last week. Cute little details, again, on the shoes. So if you look at the little holes to kind of show off, you know, the beautiful patent kind of pink. It kind of carries all the way around the shoes right into the buckle, which has kind of a neat little jagged... They also have these in a black and white, by the way. But, so these things, again, true to street size, super comfortable because of the cushy bottoms. And I am so excited to be able to wear these. So, and, again, in case you didn't notice, a beautiful little instep arch there. They got cushioning. I don't know if you can see it, cushioning on the inside. And cushioning on the heel. A beautiful shoe. And I will send pictures, I'll actually add pictures onto the review of all of these shoes so you kind of get an idea of what they look like on feet. Anyways, I wanted to thank you if you've lasted this long throughout the video. Please like and subscribe if, you know, you enjoy my content. I'm not a regular poster, but I think if I had more people saying, hey, you know, we love your content, I want to see more, I would probably be more inclined to you know, start doing this more frequently. But the shoes was kind of a podcast of love on my behalf. I think you can tell that I was a lot more kind of joyous and natural with the shoes than I am reviewing handbags, but I'm still new at this YouTube stuff. So anyways, I want to thank you very much for your attention, and have an awesome day. And check out that John Fluevog website.